Good morning, students. So far, we have studied about the inertia. That is, inertia depends on the mass of a body. The more the mass, the more inertia that body will have. For example, we have seen the case of a truck and a car. A truck has more mass, so it will have more inertia, whereas a car have less inertia. Now we will, based on those things, we will continue Newton's laws of motion. There are three laws of motion. Today we will be studying first two laws. Let us see Newton's first law of motion. It states that a body at rest will remain at rest. A body in motion will continue to be in motion in a straight line with a uniform speed unless it is compelled by an external force to change its state of rest or of uniform motion. That is, you can see a best example for this was Galileo's example. Galileo took an inclined plane. Okay, in Galileo's experiment, he dropped the ball inside this, and the ball went up to the level of up to the same level from where it was dropped. Okay, now next in next experiment, what happened? The tube was slightly bent, and in this case again the ball was dropped. This was the level. Then the ball goes on moving unless it attained the height of that particular ball, that particular place from where the ball was dropped. Now, then Galileo's next step was the tube was kept horizontally, and if the ball is dropped, it will go on moving unless we stop it, unless an external force is applied here to stop the ball. So this was the Galileo's experiment. But Newton stated that a body, suppose a ball is at rest, it will remain at rest, okay, unless some external force comes and hits the ball. As soon as the ball is hit, it will start moving. That is, it will attain its state of rest unless external force is applied on the ball. Now similarly, the second part of the statement is a ball moves continuously move, as you have seen in the case of Galileo. It will continue to move unless some external force is applied to stop the ball. We know that if the ball is moving on the floor, the force of friction is already acting on the ground. Okay, so it will automatically stop after some time. Okay, so this first law of motion is also known as law of inertia because it is based on the inertia. Now come to next, that is momentum. The momentum of a body is defined as the product of the momentum of the body is defined as product of its mass and velocity. Okay, the momentum is denoted by small p, and it is the product of mass and velocity. This is the mathematical definition of momentum. Now let us see some of the note points to be noted. The force required to stop a moving object or moving body is directly proportional to mass and velocity. You have seen in this case, this p is in the numerator, mass and velocity are also in the numerator, so they are directly proportional. If the mass is increased, automatically momentum will be increased. If the velocity is increased, then also momentum will increase, and if both are increased, then momentum will also increase. Okay, and if any of the mass or velocity is 0, you know that 0 multiplied by anything, it will become 0, so the momentum will become 0. Now come to this. A momentum is always a vector quantity and its SI unit is kg meter per second. You can see here the unit SI unit of mass is kg and velocity is meter per second. So overall the SI unit of momentum is kg meter per second. Okay, if we have already seen if mass and velocity both are larger, then momentum will also be larger. For example, let us see some of the example. A karate player, okay, karate player is there and here tiles are kept. He wants to break the pile of tiles. This bunch is known as pile of tiles or slab of ice with a single blow of its hand. Because what happens? The pile of tiles or the slab of ice, he applies force with his hand very fast in a short duration of time. And when it touches this tile, suddenly in the short time interval, the momentum comes to rest, it becomes 0. So due to this, the large momentum of the fast moving hand, because velocity of that hand earlier it was very fast and suddenly it comes to stop, it reduced to 0 in a very short time. This exerts a very large force on the pile of tiles which is sufficient to break them apart. Now let us see second example. These are the very good examples, application based examples for Newton's second law. Actually we are studying momentum. Though a cricket ball is not heavy but thrown with a high speed, velocity becomes very much high. So what happens? It requires a, if this is high, the momentum will become high and it hurts the, sometimes it may hurt the batman if the batman is not alert. Now come to the third example. A car or a bus may not be running at a high speed, but mass of both the cases in comparison to a human being is very high, so the momentum will be high, which may hurt the person coming in its way. So momentum, we can say that momentum is considered to be a measure of quantity of motion of a moving body. Okay, now based on this, let us see some of the numericals. What is the change in momentum of a car weighing 1500 kg? The mass is 1500 kg. Okay, and its speed is increasing from 30 km per hour to 72 km per hour. You have to keep in mind that momentum SI unit is kg meter per second, and here you can see it is given kilometer per hour. Okay, so what happens? You need to convert, first find the change in velocity. So final velocity is 72, initial velocity is 36, subtract it, we get it as 36 kilometer per hour. So we will convert it into meter per second, it will become 10 meter per second. So change in momentum will be mass into change in velocity. So mass is 1500, velocity has become 10 kg. So by multiplying we get the change in momentum as 15,000 kg meter per second. Now come to next example. A man throws a ball weighing, the mass is given in terms of gram, vertically upwards with the speed of, velocity is also given. Okay, what will be the initial momentum? To find the initial momentum, the velocity is given. First convert this gram into kg, SI unit is kg meter per second. So it will become 500 upon 1000. So this will become 0.5 kg. Okay, and velocity is already 10 meter per second. So initial momentum will be 5 kg meter per second. Now momentum at highest point, when the ball is thrown up at a certain point, at the highest point it will stop, so the velocity will become 0. So at the highest point the momentum will be 0. Now come to Newton's second law of motion. It is also very interesting. It states that the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the applied force and takes place in the direction in which the force acts. Okay, now from here we can see force is directly proportional to change in momentum upon time taken. Rate means time taken. So mathematically, let us derive the expression for this. If F is the force, okay, acting, U is the initial velocity, V is the final velocity, M is the mass, T is the time taken, then change in momentum will be mv minus mu. Okay, that is m into v minus u. This will be the change in momentum. So F will become directly proportional to mv minus mu upon t, or this is equal to m, taking a ms common, we will get v minus u by t. And recall, what is this actually? You have studied in motion, this is acceleration. So substitute this value, we get F is directly proportional to mass into acceleration. Now remove the proportionality sign and we will get the constant K. So K is the proportionality constant. Now remember one thing, in SI unit K is always considered as 1. So now we get the formula, force is equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, from here we can see acceleration is equal to force divided by mass. So acceleration is in the numerator, force is in the numerator, but mass is in the denominator. So there is an inverse relation between acceleration and mass, and direct relation between force and acceleration. So we can see from here that if mass of the body is doubled, then acceleration will be halved. Okay, now SI unit of force is Newton. It is denoted by capital N. Now we can easily define what actually Newton is. A Newton is that force which, when acting on a body of mass into acceleration. So 1 unit, that is 1 Newton, is equal to mass of 1 kg, acceleration of 1 meter per second square. So produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second square in it. Thus 1 Newton is equal to 1 kg meter per second square. Thank you, students.